Dead End Hip Hop album review. Elzhi, 7 times down, 8 times up. Before we get into the review, let me give you a little bit of backstory on Elzhi. Elzhi is from where, B?
Detroit.
I know.
That was so.
It's like that's so nonchalant. You better show some fucking. I thought it was Detroit versus everybody, man.
I know, right?
It sounds like it's you versus yourself today. What's going on?
From the D. What up, though?
That's better.
West side,
That's better.
Joe Road, baby.
Thank you for 30.
God
Elzhi, look, man, extraordinary MC, has ties all the way to J Dilla, Slum Village. B put me on to Elzhi about 5, maybe, shit. I don't remember when the hell he put me on. Well, he put me on a while ago, and I always felt like he didn't have a lot of projects until I fucking dug. But going into this project, 7 times down, 8 times up, the last time I really dug into a project like from Elzhi like that was Jericho Jackson. Me and B kind of had a side conversation because when I hit him up after I listened to this one time, and I was like, yo, I think this is my favorite Elzhi project. And it is, because Jericho Jackson, much as I love that project, it has some skippables. Nigga, this shit right here, nigga.
Are you saying this is your favorite?
Yeah, this was my favorite.
And shout out to JR Swiftz. He produced this whole thing from top to bottom. And JR Swiftz is a producer. He produced out of Virginia. He did some work with Griselda. Did an album with Name Tag called Metal Letter. So back in 2012, 2011 ish. So I've been on the lookout for JR Swiftz for a while, man. So that's dope that he got this look right here. To produce this entire project.
So how you feel you did? You think he knocked it out?
Oh yeah, he did it. I mean, I was expecting JR to hit Elzhi with some dope beats, man. Like, even though it was a one producer album, like he did a great job of giving him a variety of like boom bap ish type beats, hard bass lines and shit, man. Yeah,
and he gave him pocket beats. You know what I'm saying, for Elzhi. And Elzhi is one of them fucking super syllable rappers that he could rhyme like real quick or extend out a rhyme. So like these beats fit him perfect, man. Like one of my first, like obviously first time I listened to it, you know what I'm saying, going through it, the one my ears perked up and I was like, oh shit, like this shit is hard. And the first time I listened to it was actually in the car, but it was just the way the bass note hit. And I was just like, after 30 seconds, I had to replay it. Was Light One, Right One. Yo, that beat is so fucking dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just, that's one of my favorite tracks. And then just the way Elzhi sounds, man. G.O.D's definitely one of my favorites. I love the play on it. You know what I'm saying? He said guns, ounces, and drug deals. I like how he had Foolish throughout here in the interludes and shit like that, breaking it up, kind of tying it back together too with some of the topics and things that he was talking about. Masterclass. Oh my God, that was, nigga. Like chapter 1, I'm gonna break down me as like in a book. And I just
this motherfucker, man.
Bro,
the thing about masterclass that I like is because that's kind of a thing now. Like there are these master classes that, you know, the like some top level people are like selling, and so he took that concept that's current now and put it in a song. So it was very timely. I thought that was dope. That was the first thing that popped in my head. Was like he's gonna show you how to be a master at MCing.
Yeah.
And he's talking about the pen. I thought that was fresh because he had that shit. He says, "I kill a man with the pen like I kill a man with the pen like, is it Nicky DeVito?
I know the line.
Or the something Santoro from the movie
Casino.
about the grimy casino.
Yeah,
it was Tommy
Santoro.
DeVito, Nicky Santoro.
Yep.
Yeah. Either way, that shit was fucking nasty.
Yeah, this dude, man, his wordplay, his rhyme schemes is just he's next level.
I like this album, man. I think it's very consistent with his discography. I love the album title, and I think throughout the album, you know, he speaks to that, like the, you know, being resilient and overcoming, you know, adversity in life, and I think that's dope and very real. You know, so. You know what you're gonna get with Elzhi in terms of rapping, you know, penmanship, A-list rapping, and over dope beats. Which, speaking of the beats, it kind of took me a minute to kind of, you know, get into the soundscape of this world, mainly because I think the first half of this, you you know, the sound, the tone of it was similar, and it gave me a very kind of gray feeling. And while I felt like that matched like the overall theme of what he was going for, I did want like something to kind of bring me out of that. And I think overall it just took me a while to kind of really get into the album itself, and with repeated plays, some of the beats that I didn't necessarily think in terms were bad, it's just the placement of them, you know, with coming behind certain songs, started to sound a little bit better. Second half of the album I was into more than the first half in terms of the production. But lyrically and the content and everything that he was saying was spot on. And I think this is just one of those albums where you just have to play it over and over and over again, and you start to pick out certain nuances and discover new things within it, which is great, which is what I love, because I don't always like to grab something on the first listen. Thugged Out Zombies was like fucking crazy, and I love that concept and that idea. And when I was mowing the lawn yesterday and I was listening to it, I was like, man, that probably would make a damn fucking dope ass, like, different ass zombie movie too, to kind of see some thugged out zombies. But I was bored. I think I was just,
you get in that mode, start just thinking about shit.
Yeah, we just because it was like thugged out zombies, and I went to
and
like
the way he was describing them shit.
Yeah, and I was like,
nigga, right.
Like, so I'm on the lawn and I'm just listening, and your mind start wandering. Like, what would that look like? Like some thugged out zombies.
On some blaxploitation type shit.
Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, Potential was dope. G.O.D. But Masterclass and fucking Jason, man, I think was a great way to close out the track on a super ass high note. But overall, man, another solid addition to Elzhi's currently extremely potent discography. So yeah, I fucks with it.
I agree with what both you guys have said. I disagree slightly with Ken. I didn't get a samey kind of feel with the first half. I don't think the beats were super varied. Mm-hmm. I think they definitely kept a consistent feel throughout this, but I guess it didn't really bother me maybe.
Gotcha, yeah.
But I will say the first song on first listen, I was just like, dang, I'm not feeling this. I don't know what it is. But then when it got to Early Bird Night Owl, I was like, oh, here we go. Now this is the Elzhi I wanted to hear. Now before I move on, let me go ahead and clear this up. Now I love the first song. I think it was his flow threw me off on the first song.
That was my first time ever hearing him do that.
Yeah, me too. Because he's not usually choppy. He's usually really on the beat.
That was my first time hearing him doing that.
This time I was like, what's going on here? No, I don't know, Elzhi. Now I'm just like, once you figure out what he's doing, now I love that song. But yeah, Early Bird Night Owl, the beat layered and his bars, I'm still tired than the claustrophobic in a mosh pit, bad to the bone like the skeletons in your closet. Like the way he's spitting is just so fucking nice, man. Potential was nice. What was it? The Light One, Right One. That was an interesting song for me with Elzhi. And B, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've never, not since Slum Village, I don't think I've heard an Elzhi song where I'm like, I can hear this on the radio. That song, I was like, I could really hear this on the radio. Maybe not like blowing up huge like a Drake song.
But if you heard it on the radio,
I'd be like, this fits.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
You know? And I've never heard, and it didn't even sound forced. It sounded so natural. Like that beat was so smooth, and he just fit in perfectly with it.
It's interesting you say that, because now that you say that, I can see it, but I never thought of it even being on the radio.
I thought it immediately, because
Really?
I was expecting not to like it. When the beat came on, I was like, oh man, I don't know about this one. And the second he started rapping, I was like, oh, yeah, okay, this is crazy. Now, I got to talk about that Grindhouse double feature. The Guns and Boats and Thugged Out Zombies.
Shout out to Fez
Man.
Rock. Fez Rock. I'm glad he pulled him out the chamber, because he wasn't featured. I haven't seen him since he was on the Preference. So
Me
science.
either.
So I'm like, I'm like, damn, Fez Rocky got him back out there. But go ahead.
And that was nice that they put him on that, you know, because that's not something I expected on this, especially in the middle of the album.
I know.
Like now you're doing like this storytelling shit about horror movies and zombies and shit. I was like, wow, God, this is great. Because on the first listen, I didn't pick up on it. It was the second listen where I was like, But
they set you up at the
Ferndale.
Ferndale. Ferndale, set you up.
G.O.D. was definitely nice. Oh, wait, the Grindhouse double feature. Did you catch the Wu-Tang reference?
Yes, I shot him off the head like Blue's fucking head up. He lay on the ground like a fucking baby
fucking
god.
newborn baby god. I was like, man, come on.
I was like, wow.
Here we go.
Like, he had to. Of course, he was featured on the Ghostface album too, on the Drunk with Bad Bad No Good.
Oh yeah.
He was featured with Ghostface on that, so that kind of made the tie in right there. I was like, oh shit.
That was still nice though.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't expect that. So I actually audibly laughed when that shit came on. But yeah, Masterclass, that beat was just nasty. The bass riff in there, but bruh, Jason.
That's a play on his name too.
Is his name Jason?
Jason Powers, yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I figured his real name was Elzhi.
Oh no, his real name
That
is
sounds
Jason.
like a normal name.
Yeah, no, it could be.
Jason was just fucking mean. And that is my only small, minor, tiny, minuscule gripe. I wanted more of Jason. Because all of these songs, there ain't a slouchy moment. This is a damn near perfect album. I had no problems with anything here. But when it hit Jason, I was like, damn. We didn't really get too much aggressive Elzhi. But when Jason hit, Jesus.
He said, I feel like God blessed my soul as if he heard my aura sneezing.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yes. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Mike, you know what's so crazy about Jason? So the first time I was listening to this, I was in the car. And after Jason, I had to go back and be like, what the fuck did I miss? Because I don't remember nothing else like this.
There wasn't.
So it went to the intro, and I skipped through every song, like maybe 15 to 30 seconds, to be like, okay, did I miss something? Because that shit,
Jason was fucking nasty. Was super nasty. And we all know Elzhi can rap like that. But this just seemed really focused. And then Jason was just like, I'm just going to fucking snap on y'all real quick.
And it's crazy because this was the lead single for this album too.
What was?
Jason?
Jason was?
Yep. That was the single.
Interesting. I would think it would have been Light One, Right One. Yeah. But
he released that second. That was the second single for it. Yep.
But yeah, he said, this ain't a game. Tell the contestants I dice their intestines and sell them to the delicatessen. I was like, Jesus Christ. But all in all, zero problems. This is a fucking great project. I don't know if I'm with you yet with it being my favorite. I don't know if I'm with you yet because I still lean on the preface just because I think I've heard it more than everything, so it's probably one of those personal favorites.
And him and Black Milk was just
it's an unbeatable combination.
Yeah, that was just.
And then
I
could be a prisoner of the moment too. I'm that person on the show, so it could be that. But I just know that since I've put this shit on,
it hasn't. Yeah.
I let that whole shit ride. Like I don't skip nothing on here.
It could just be like the thing about it is I wouldn't argue if somebody said this was a better project, but I think I just prefer to listen to the preface. I think it's only because I've been listening to it for so long.
Of course.
But this is just fucking great. And especially for someone, I know B probably knew, I haven't been paying too much.
B had this last year.
He probably did.
Shut up.
He probably did.
Shut up. Shut up.
I haven't been paying attention too much to the hip hop landscape, so I didn't even know this was coming out until you said like last week. Oh, Elzhi dropping. I was like, Elzhi dropping what? What's he dropping? And it's a project, really? But yeah, this is great. This is really fucking good, man.
This is another situation where I'm like, when I listen to this album, I'm like, God, fucking damn it. I just like I want to tell people like I told y'all, like I fucking told y'all, like this guy is like my favorite in the city. Like he is my favorite MC in the city, man. Like he always has the great wordplay. My only gripe, I can say only gripe of Elzhi throughout his whole career that I love about him is like he's so blue collar. Like he's everything you like in an MC. Sometimes he don't have, with the exception of tracks like Jason, and I can give you other examples of other tracks, but like if we can get a little bit more Jasons, I can see why someone would put a Royce over Elzhi. Just because Royce got that extra like personality, a flair. Like Elzhi is just like I'm this. Like this is you gonna give it to you straight. Right. So, but Elzhi has always been my favorite, man. Smoke and Mirrors was unlike Myke. I mean, I definitely liked it when I first heard it because you know, I've been following Elzhi's career since like 98, 90, 99, shit, them hip hop shop shit and all that shit, man. Like this dude, I never heard him flow like that, and for him to be in his pocket so crazy on Smoke and Mirrors was fucking amazing to me. Like, what a great way. And shout out to Foolish, he's a comedian out of Detroit. Played in a few little movies, was on Comic View a couple times or whatever. So that's dope that he added some comedic factor to this album and kind of tied in the story. Because I kind of almost feel like this is a concept album, because a lot of stuff that Elzhi's been dealing with, especially coming off from lead poison, fighting depression and stuff. I think this was definitely his, all right, I'm here moment. Like, this is my shit. Because he said he's working on another album with another producer that he's not going to name yet, but he's working on another one producer project, which I'm hoping is be dope if it's Apollo Brown. But yeah, so for him to make this album, I feel like this was his, like, I'm here now, like, y'all motherfuckers can't fuck with me type vibe. I think the first half, going up to Ferndale, I think he was really just talking to you. Like, I think he was really just spitting those introspective, crazy, like, I'm just gonna talk to you right now and talk to you about, you know, life with myself. Once it got out to Ferndale was a dope it's a suburban town outside Detroit, which he was talking about in Ferndale. And that's that Ferndale was that slum village Elzhi pocket for me. I feel like when every time I play Ferndale, I always think back to like Slum Village Trinity, Detroit Deli, Elzhi, like those that type of vibes with Ferndale, which I appreciate that. Guns and Boats and Thugged Out Zombies, man. Elzhi showing you he can he's one of the best at describing, telling stories, man. Like, if he wants to be that MC, he can do that shit. Like, that shit is so fucking crazy, man. Like, he's always been dope at telling stories, and I think a lot of people don't really throw his name out there like that, because it's like he's not known for that, but he can do that. He can do that with the best of them when it comes to telling stories, man. And I'm glad he got Fez Rock on Guns and Boats, because that was a dope, and just the way it was set up after Ferndale. Like, I thought that was a dope way to have a grindhouse. I don't think no one's ever done that before. Like, just in the middle of an album, just made a grindhouse type of a theme. And then, of course, yeah, Potential is dope, because that's another one of those moments where I feel like, you know, him coming out the mud personally, you know, and telling his story and how he probably prevailed through life and going through ups and downs. G.O.D., that's nothing new for me. He's always had these acronym type of songs where he Friends, Demons was off the Preference, which is fucking amazing. So he's always done joints like that. So that's no surprise for me. I expect Elzhi to have those type of tracks on his album. Masterclass, another dope, great concept song. Elzhi has always been great with concept songs. If you listen to Talking in My Sleep, if you listen to 17, 216s, Motown 25 with him and Royce was fucking barfet. Like, he's good with those concept songs. So Masterclass was another one where I was like, this motherfucker is giving you, he's always great with great concept songs, man. This shit is fucking crazy. And then Jason, the lead single, when I first heard that shit, when they was saying that the album was coming out, I was like, oh my fucking God. Like, the way I'm like, I know this can't be the first song. So the way they finished it out, I thought was really dope how he finished his album out, because it was just, like I said, it's Elzhi putting his stamp saying, like, I'm here, nobody can fuck with me, and this shit is a rap now with Jason. Like, I like the fact that he tied it in, of course, because that's his real name, and he tied it into his real life. You know what I'm saying? So I thought, you know, kind of did a play on Jason Voorhees, and he tied it in with his real life. So I thought that was super clever. And shout out to JR Swiftz, man. Like I said, man, you've been doing your thing on these beats lately, man, and you've been killing it. I'm glad you got the opportunity. The fact that you got your opportunity on Instagram and Elzhi saw your shit, and then now
that's
you
how it happened.
Damn, that's crazy.
That's
like,
dope. That's
becoming a thing
now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know he was about to say so.
I'm just saying. Why do you think he's not regarded in those discussions? Because I know for a fact, I forget him. Yeah. I do. Until I put an album on, and I'm like, God damn, this is one of the best MCs of our era.
Yeah, I would say maybe output. His output is not as consistent as maybe other MCs that we mentioned. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, just look at Royce. Royce is very consistent. You know what I'm saying? True. You know, so it's just like that would be my only reasoning. I think his output is not as consistent. It's starting to get consistent now. But
do you mean because he's not releasing enough?
Yeah, and I'm not saying he got to release fucking 3 albums in 1 year and shit like that. But yeah, I mean, you know, because from Illmatic until Lead Poison, it was you know, of course he was fighting depression, so it was just a lot of and then he was having label issues. So it was just, he just been going through a lot of shit personally.
So it's just a matter there's just not enough projects in that span of time.
Yeah,
Visibility.
Yeah, and I think that's
sense.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, because like you say, once people hear it, they be like, oh yeah, I forgot. Elzhi is one of the dopest MCs.
But then
or
nothing
whatever.
comes out for like 5 years.
Yeah, and then it's like,
Yeah, I think just when he drops a project, it's like, all right, it's done. And, you know, it's like, what else are you doing? I don't know the frequency of videos that he dropped from projects.
He only
You don't
dropped
really
like
drop.
1-2 videos for the last one.
That's not it.
But
Black Thought's not dropping videos. Royce don't really drop videos.
But
like
he's been Black Thought has been with the Roots.
Yeah.
So that helps him in terms of people recognizing and know who he is.
But even prior to Royce hooking up with M, he was still looked at as like this top tier lyricist from Detroit. So why isn't Elzhi?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, get rapping since '98.
You know what I mean?
It's almost like he's
crazy.
the best kept secret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
But man, Foolish on that intro when he said I went to the zoo, and he's like,
Yes, that's real. No,
Oh, so there's no animals out there?
I was gonna ask you about that.
I don't know if
shit.
you remember when I showed you that shit, Ken. When we was on Belle Isle, I was like, look at that shit. I was like, you see that abandoned shit? That used to be the Belle Isle Zoo. I remember we used to always go in that motherfucker. That shit, and this said ferocious lions. You be like, where the fuck is the lions at? Like, there ain't no fucking lions in there. You go in the Belle Isle Zoo, you might see like 2 animals. You might see some deers. You might see the fucking.
Who the fuck goes to the zoo to see a
deer.
deer?
I'm telling you,
Them niggas got stuck there.
Myke, I'm telling you.
Hey, they got some food on
Dude,
there.
We supposed to be there.
Hey,
We just
Myke,
wandered in.
I'm telling you, Belle Isle Zoo is the grimiest zoo of all time. I'm telling you. You think you gonna see some shit in there, and you ain't gonna see no shit in there.
And I was gonna ask you when he said, I was like, man, that sounds like some real
That's
ass
some real
Detroit
shit.
shit. He said, not an animal in that motherfucker.
We used to go in Belle Isle Zoo and be like, ferocious lions? Where the tigers at? What is this? Like, that shit is crazy. So
Then
that
he said, put some wigs on the dick.
Ben Wallace wigs on them, yeah. He said put some Ben Wallace wigs on some deers, which he said. I told you. You see some deer? That shit that Foolish was saying was some real shit, man. That shit was so. If you from the D, grew up around the same area I did, you know that shit that Foolish was saying was some real shit.
Smoke and Mirrors, definitely. Just because I love when I don't like something at first, then it grows on me. It just makes me love it even more. Early Bird, Night Owl, definitely. Potential, Masterclass, and definitely Jason.
Yeah, kind of like you. Like Hot Winter, Cold Summer was one that once it hit, I'm like, God damn, this shit is fucking dope. Once that bass line,
Yeah.
man, it was just when it connected. So that's one of my favorite tracks on here. Let's see, Jason for sure, Masterclass, Thugged Out Zombies, and let's do Guns and Boats.
Give me Smoke and Mirrors, Early Bird, Night Owl, Hot Winter, Cold Summer, Potential, G.O.D., Masterclass, and Jason.
Give me Early Bird, Night Owl. Yeah, that shit was dope. Cause how he was doing the hook, how he had the one voice for the night person, and that shit was fucking amazing. Jason, G.O.D., Smoke and Mirrors, and Thugged Out Zombies.
Elzhi, if you watching, hey, look, man, I agree with B to a degree where I feel the output just needs to tick up just a little bit. But I think I would say that's my only gripe with your entire career. In terms of this project, man, my favorite project from you, bro. Literally from the moment you put this on, and you get past the Foolish intro, you start with Smoke and Mirrors, man. Like, there's no skips. There's no skips on this. So I love that aspect of it.
Elzhi, if you're watching, another stellar project, man, in terms of rapping and production. Because I did not know that it was just one producer. So I think that's a spotlight on JR Swiftz.
Yep.
So that's a spotlight on him. So and yeah, once I fully connected with everything that was going on here in terms of production, sound, rhymes, and everything, I was completely on board. I liked it from the beginning. It just turned into a love, And yeah, just the way you close the track out with Jason, like leaving that person on that high, is a good way to end the track, because you walk away from it like, man, that shit was fucking dope. And yeah, so I think this is great. I think, you know, to kind of echo what B was saying, this further adds to, you know, you as a top tier lyricist in this game. So yeah, man, just keep doing what you're doing, bro, and much success to you.
Elzhi, if you're watching, great project. I don't have a gripe. You hit the notes that you needed to hit, and I think this conversation may extend outside this video as far as why people are not bringing your name up more often when it comes to top tier spitters, because I have to ask myself that too. But yeah, you've definitely been extremely consistent, and this is a great addition to your discography. And regardless of how long it takes you to drop something else, I'm looking forward to it. So great work.
Elzhi, if you're watching, first, thank you for taking the time and releasing this album. You and JR Swiftz, man. JR Swiftz, good job on these beats, bro. Elzhi, of course, you know, I always champion you. You know what I'm saying? You don't never have to worry about, you know, why you're not getting enough love in the hip hop culture. I think you've always been held it in regard, for me, one of my top MCs, man. Every time I mention top MCs, your name is gonna be mentioned for me. I love the way you rep the city. I mean, you know, you always rep the city humbly. And you just do a great job of just, like I said, your wordplay, your storytelling. I would love for you to dap into more storytelling, because the way your rhyme patterns and shit is crazy. Masterclass, fuck, it just shows why you that dude, man. And I really appreciate that. Like, just since Autofocus EP, Boomerang Slang, like since that shit, man, you had me amazed, man. And with this album, again, it's one of those things. It's just like, I tell everybody, I told you so. Like, this you that dude, man. So looking forward to whatever you do next. I hope whatever the next Run Producer project you do next, I hope that's with Apollo Brown. Do something with Black Milk and Royce. Again, I would love that. It's just the fandom in me. I would love for y'all three to hook up and do some shit again, man. Because every time all three y'all do something, it's fucking magic. But yeah, that's it, man. Just good job, and I'm happy. Can't see it, but I'm smiling from ear to ear right now, man. So good job.